This is a level F story, and it is entitled Jasmine Catches a Fish. When I look at this picture, I wonder which person is Jasmine and how she catches a fish. So the title again, Jasmine Catches a Fish, and it's written by Anne Harth. "You're too little to catch a fish," Anna said. "Next time, Jasmine," Dad said. The boat raced away. Look at this picture. We have 4 people and 2 people were talking. So we'll have to figure out who the people are. The only one we know for sure would be Dad, because he's the only male in the picture. Jasmine and Mom sat beside a rock pool. "I wish I could catch a fish," Jasmine said. So now we have narrowed down our people, haven't we? I'm guessing now that this is Jasmine and this is Mom because of their sizes. But Jasmine really wishes she could catch a fish. "Look," Mom pointed at the pool. A big fish swam in circles. "He has to get back to the ocean," said Jasmine. So look, they're noticing this fish. This doesn't seem like a pool that I'm thinking of. When I think of a pool, I think of concrete around it. And this one has a lot of grass by it. And they mentioned the ocean. So I'm guessing out here is the ocean. And this is maybe just like what they call like a little wade pool, like a shallow area that's next to the ocean that lets water in. That's my guess. So let's see what happens next. Jasmine put her hands into the water. She was very still. The fish swam closer. It swam between Jasmine's hands. She slowly closed her fingers. She lifted the fish from the water. Wow, she caught a fish with her bare hands. I don't know if I could do that. It would be wiggly and slimy, and I might drop it. "You did it," Mom said. Jasmine tossed the fish into the ocean. It swam away. I like that she didn't keep the fish, that she threw it back where she thought it belonged. I think that's pretty cool. Dad pulled his boat onto the sand. "Did you catch any fish?" Jasmine asked. "No," said Anna. Jasmine laughed. "I did." Okay, so now we have some comprehension questions to see if we remember what we read. And it's always a good idea to think of your answer, but go back through the story and make sure your answer is correct. So that's what we're going to do here. We're also going to pretend that we're writing these questions out. So we're going to use complete sentences where they begin with a capital letter and they end with a punctuation mark, in this case, probably a period. So the first question is, who caught a fish? And I definitely remember that answer because the title of the story even tells us. But the title is Jasmine Catches a Fish. So we know that Jasmine caught the fish. So if I were going to write my answer, I would say Jasmine, and I would capitalize it. Jasmine caught a fish, period. And then a great thing about restating the question is if you don't know how to spell it and you can't stretch it out and sound it out, like the word caught, because that's tricky, you could go back in the question and just copy that word to make sure you spelled it correctly. Same thing with fish or Jasmine, because that's a long name. So we could go back through the story and make sure that we're spelling her name correctly. So the second question says, who is Anna? Well, I remember that because we had a lot of questions about different people since we had 4 people in the story. And this is Anna. But when we go back through the story to find out who she is, let's see. You know what? It never says that Anna is her sister, does it? But I'm guessing that Anna is her sister. So who is Anna? Let's just go ahead and presume or guess that Anna is her sister. So if I were going to write that in a complete sentence, I would say Anna, and it's already capitalized because it's a name. Anna is Jasmine's sister. And Jasmine would have an apostrophe S at the end and a period at the end of the sentence. Who rides on the boat? Well, we know Jasmine doesn't because she was upset that she didn't get to go catch a fish. So, next time Jasmine and the boat raced away. So Anna and Dad were the 2 that went on the boat because when their next picture, it's just Mom and Jasmine. So if we were going to put that in a complete sentence, how would we answer it? Who rides on the boat? We would say Dad and Anna, and both of those would have capital letters in them. Ride on the boat, period. And then the last question is, where does the story take place? That's asking about the setting. So the setting of the story could be, you could write that several ways. You could say that the story takes place near an ocean, a beach, by a pool in an ocean. So let's keep it simple, and we will answer this question by saying, capital T, the story takes place by an ocean. And you could go back in the story and find the word ocean to write it down and spell it correctly with a period. So always be a good detective when you're answering questions by going back, checking your answers, looking for answers, and copying words that you might struggle with because they're already there in the story. I hope you continue to read some level F stories and that you grow your brain to the next level. Happy reading!